thing that's also playing a major role here, you guys, I believe, is social media. You look all across social media, you see that people are doing more and more reckless things to put themselves in fame, put themselves in the limelight, get the attention of others. What's up, YouTube? TP Locks here, bringing you guys another video. Yes, today we've got an interesting topic. We've got a baby with wicks and tattoos. A very controversial thing going on throughout the internet, and I wanted to give my take on it. All right, if you're interested in that video, stay tuned. Per usual, you guys, if you have not done so already, please hit that like and that subscribe button. If you have hit that like and subscribe button already, definitely want to make sure you hit that notification bell to stay notified on all the posts the moment I post. Now, before we get started, you guys, I wanted to be very clear that this video by no means is meant to create and foster an environment where we're going to be negative about this child in the comment section. I just want to be clear on that first and foremost. This is not a video where we're going to be speaking negatively about children. It's also not to belittle this woman who's being a mother. Being a mother is one of the most difficult jobs that you can have. At the end of the day, people are going to raise their kids how they want to raise their kids. The purpose of this video is really mainly to give an opinion, to start a dialogue, and really to create an overall assessment of a cultural theme. I feel like one of the first questions that you have to ask when you look at things like this is, does this harm the child in any way, right? I think the most important person in this is the child. We'd all agree, even the mother would agree there, right? In terms of physical pain, I don't believe that this is hurting the child. The tattoos are artificial, they're fake, so you're not talking about someone actually doing tattoos on the child. In terms of the wicks, I'm not necessarily sure if they hurt or not. Some locticians are more skilled than others. I think when it comes to younger children, it's really more so about patience. There can be some discomfort from a child having to sit in a chair for a long period of time, just in general. But in terms of the pain, I don't believe that there was any pain involved with that process. I think we can all rest assured. I also think that when we're assessing this, we can't assume that we want more or we care more for the child than that mother does. I'm not gonna assume that, right? I'm going to assume that that mother cares for that child more than I do. So my opinion in the matter, it doesn't have to mean anything to them, right? Second question that I would ask, juxtaposed with the is this hurting the child, is, what's really the motive? If I'm looking at this video, I can very clearly tell that this mother and this child are somewhat influenced by Southern Florida culture. If the mother doesn't think that's a bad thing and it's not causing physical pain on the child, the mother has a right to do whatever she wants to do, right? The wicks I actually don't have any problem with. I think if you want to start your child off with some wicks or some locks, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Where I do think there is a line that should be drawn is some of the tattoos. The issue that I have really just comes from the theme that I notice overall with just parenting in this new generation. It seems like we have a lot of babies raising babies. And a lot of times what that lends itself to is being able to make decisions with your discernment, with the dignified role that you have as a parent, but not necessarily doing so with tact. I saw a meme one time where it was like, and I don't believe that this applies here because I don't know anything about her marital situation, her relationship situation. But I read a meme where it was like a lot of baby moms out there that dress their sons like the men who left them, or et cetera, et cetera. A lot of stuff like that floating around there. While I may not agree with the meme, I do think that there is a little bit of truth hidden within that hyperbole, right? I think there are a lot of young, misguided youth that are raising more young, misguided youth. When I look at this child sort of adorning tattoos in this manner with the wicks, right, juxtaposed with the wicks, is very much emulating what you see in Southern Florida from the adults. There's a reason why it's okay for adults to do these kinds of things, right? They've hopefully gotten to a place of maturity where they've made decisions, they pay rent, maybe they pay some bills, they're adults, they're dignified in being able to make their own decisions for their bodies. When you have children and you have a parent making the decisions for you early on, for them to make the decisions like putting tattoos on you and trying to sort of make you a, Southern Florida mascot type thing, it kind of begs a little bit of the question is, again, going back to what's the motive. One thing that's also playing a major role here, you guys, I believe, is social media. You look all across social media, you see that people are doing more and more reckless things to put themselves in fame, put themselves in the limelight, get the attention of others. For about as long as the early 2000s, it has been financially beneficial for people to do things that elicit a lot of engagement. Oftentimes there can be an unnecessary pressure, an unfortunate pressure to do these things for the financial benefits. I can't definitively say that this lady is doing this for the clout. I can't say that at all. But if I'm to assess these acts and this behavior and this need to take this baby and thrust them into social media, I don't just think it's as simple as, hey, my baby's cute. I think there's also a little bit of a need to feed that social media beast. There's so many people out there whose goals in life are to make world star, whose goals in life are to hit the shade room or whatever other page so they can get those clout tokens and get some financial benefit. We've seen people ride that to stardom. We've seen people take that, build a rap career out of it, i.e. your bad babies. A lot of people who have created names and brands for themselves through navigating those social media viral waters. Okay, so I do believe some of that is at play here. Now, while I can't definitively say that they're doing it for the clout, I can definitively say that they are doing this and making this content for public consumption. It doesn't necessarily mean that you want clout, but that does mean that you want people to consume it. You want people to see it, right? One thing people don't realize, and I think we've gotten away from on the internet, is people think that they could post things on the internet and they can just be like, well, you mind your business. People so bothered, people so worried. The internet is a group of millions of people. If you have a public page, if you are using public hashtags, it's basically like being in a room and shouting, come look at me real quick, come look at me. Everybody who looks at this stuff, come look at me. And then when they look at you and they have an opinion, you have an issue. When you post things on the internet, you are absolutely doing it for attention. Otherwise, you could do like what we did in the 80s. Put it in a scrapbook. Cut the pictures out and hang them on your wall. Go get them developed and get little wallet-sized photos and put them in your wallet. There's millions of things that you can, not millions of things, but there's a lot of different things that you can do if you don't want to post it on the internet. The internet isn't the only option. It's not the end-all be-all of where all photos must go, where all videos must go. You're absolutely within your right to use the internet. I'm not telling anybody you can't use the internet. But when you do things like this, you have to understand that you are doing it to a certain extent for some attention. If you weren't doing it for attention, you would be a private profile. You wouldn't be doing YouTube shorts. You wouldn't be posting it in other places. You wouldn't be hashtagging people. You wouldn't be tagging people in the content. So for me, it's like, there definitely are some influences there. And from that standpoint, I do think it can be detrimental to the child. I'm not saying definitively that it is, but I think it can be detrimental to the child, right? I think children should be allowed to be kids. I don't think they should be emulating adults. I don't think they should be postured as adults, dressing like adults. I think that's a huge problem that we have now with today's generation as well. When I was coming up, we dressed and looked like high schoolers. We looked like little bums that didn't pay rent. That's what you're supposed to look like as a high schooler. These kids these days pulling up in Louis, Gucci, Prada, all this stuff to prom, pulling up in rented Lamborghinis. It's like everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, and social media and the need to sort of, exalt yourself as as a person that's arrived into stardom. Everyone's sort of kind of playing in this little rat race for attention. It's unfortunate because I think the kid has been wrapped up in that, right? While I can't prove that that's the mother's MO, that's absolutely my theory on it, right? I highly encourage everyone watching this video to leave their comment, to kind of give their judgment as well. Again, we are not here to shame a mom. We're not here to shame a child. Y'all, please don't do that. And really the theme I want you to engage more so than anything is how social media influences parents, how social media has changed parenting, the concept of babies raising babies. Not to say that it absolutely has to apply to this case, but it is a real and prevalent thing. And I would love to hear your insight on this, you guys. I would love for this video to be a cool little conversation underneath. It's respectful and orderly, okay? But that's my take. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and my little rant. It's TP Locks, signing out.
Yo, TP Locks fam, what is going on? You already know it's your boy Backpack Beats. If you like the music on my homie TP's channel, definitely come over to my channel. I got more of these. I'm making beats every week. I'm also DJing every week for the No More Free Beat Show. So definitely make sure you stay tuned in. Got a lot of stuff popping. I appreciate everybody who's been coming from TP's channel as well. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate y'all for coming through, showing love. It's nothing but a community over here for real. We got the dope vibes. So definitely stay tuned to what we doing on TP's channel. Make sure you stay tuned to what I'm doing on my channel also. And it's gonna be fire, man. Dope beats, dope music, dope vibes. Appreciate y'all.